100% renewable energy by 2050. That's the goal for city leaders in Northampton. What will it take to reach that goal in the next 30 years? I sat down with Chris Mason, Northampton's Energy and Sustainability Officer, to discuss that and more.
Largely, the plan is right now is because our electric grid is getting more and more renewable, is to start shifting things to the electric grid. So start shifting our heating sources to the electric grid, start shifting our transportation to the electric grid. So electric vehicles, high efficiency, cold climate air source heat pumps, possibly geothermal, so pulling heat out of the ground to heat buildings. That's a broad outline of the direction that I think society has to go in order to get off of fossil fuels.
And so the city, to meet this 2050 goal of 100% renewable by that time, where did the idea even come from?
It's driven by the laws of physics. That's what, our planet responds to the laws of physics. It doesn't really matter what our laws say. The climate follows what we put into it. And scientists have given us a timeline to avoid the worst effects of climate change. We're already seeing the effects of climate change right now. So to get there, that's net zero by 2050 has been fairly broadly accepted as a benchmark that will keep us from having the worst effects of climate change hitting us.
But this isn't really our first go around at this as a society. A lot of climate scientists had set an earlier benchmark. I can think back to the late 90s with the Kyoto Protocol and other things like that, where we've already gone past what they said there would be really bad implications for. So what makes this different?
That's not my recollection of it. I mean, the 2 degrees centigrade increase in global average temperatures is what I've heard is the scientists say that's where the effects can really get bad and maybe start running away, start to reinforce themselves. I think that's where we've been aiming for all along. Just that in order to make this transition, you don't want to wait to the last minute and then just pile everything in the last minute. So what we've been having trouble with as a society is ramping it, getting started early so that we can gradually make the transition in. So the longer we wait, the faster we're going to have to make that transition.
So let's take a look at some of the shorter term things that Northampton is either going to do or is currently doing to meet this goal. Where do you even start? I mean, you think about cities, to run a city, to keep a city going, you've got trucks, you've got plows, you have lots of buildings.
Yes.
Do you start with the buildings?
You start with whatever you can. Buildings, Northampton has been since the 1980s, has been focusing on energy efficiency. Basically, how do we get the same service out of our buildings with using less energy? So buildings, there's a lot of opportunities in buildings. And buildings is, I think, probably Northampton's biggest energy source. Transportation would be next. The big trucks you're talking about with DPW are problematic. There's not really clean, good alternatives at the moment. Perhaps biofuels in the future. But at the moment, other transportation, smaller vehicles, we now have electric vehicles. And because, as I said earlier, the electric grid is getting greener, and you can then, very deliberately buy green electricity. So you could basically say, I'm going to buy power from that solar array, as opposed to just buying normal power from the grid, which might be a mixture of different fuels. So with that, you can start to green your transportation sector as well. Even better is reduce your energy use whenever possible, get out of the car, the single passenger car whenever possible, use mass transportation, use bikes, walk around. So the city is already setting up plans on how to, as we redo streets, we're already setting up plans for multimodal transportation, making room for bicycles, making room for walkers, pedestrians. So the city's been doing this for a while. And as far as buildings, we've been improving the efficiency of the current systems at the moment.
And when you're looking at that, I know for a city, it's often dollars and cents that drive what boiler you might put in or what other piece of equipment you might put in. Is the city taking a different approach to that, that maybe the least expensive at the front end isn't the best option?
Yeah, that's what the mayor has just proclaimed, a mayoral policy that is having his staff look at every large building that we have and putting a plan in place on how do we move that off of fossil fuels. It also pertains to every other building too. The smaller buildings, we don't necessarily need a plan, but if you're going to put in a new air conditioner, perhaps instead you put in a heat pump or a high efficiency heat pump. In this case, we've been improving the efficiency of buildings. What we're looking at now is what is the equipment we're going to want in that building in 2050. If we put in a boiler that's going to last 30 years now, it might very well be there in 2050, or quite frankly, we're probably going to have to replace it before the end of its useful life because we're going to have to get rid of that boiler between now and 2050. It has to go. So why invest in it now? In order to make a shift to high efficiency equipment, often the best thing to do is reduce your load, reduce the amount of energy you use in your building. So that's where the plans are going to come in place, where we will look at buildings, how do we drastically drop the energy use in this building? And I can go into details on some of that if you want. And that's going to cost some money too. So get that improvement done first before you have to replace the boiler, so that when you get to that point, you then can put in an alternative system.
Can you think of an example where the city might be coming close to where it needs to put in that alternative system, or something in the near past where you're like, we could have gone forward with this? Yeah,
both. Right now, in the high school, the domestic hot water boiler, is a boiler for the domestic hot water, has been giving us problems. I'm hoping that we will be in time. And of course, we cannot have the hot water go away at the high school, so if we have to put in a new gas boiler, we do. But I'm hoping there will be enough time for us to get the system designed to put solar hot water instead. So that's one case right there where we're hoping to be able to actually shift from a gas boiler to a solar system.
What about one area where you maybe have missed an opportunity?
Okay, recently we needed to replace 2 steam boilers in one of the elementary schools. And what we ended up doing was replacing one steam boiler, repairing the other one, because we have a general outline of a possible plan on how to move that building off of that steam boiler. If we had had enough time, the boilers were leaking, they had to be replaced before the school year started. So we replaced 1 instead of 2, so that in the next 5 years or so, hopefully we can go back and work on that building, and we may very well then decommission the boiler we just put in and shift over to a different system. So that's one where we missed.
We're looking at 30 years' time for the city to meet this 100% goal. Do you think that's enough time?
It's going to be hard, and it's going to depend on the public being more behind it, which I think is going to happen the more and more that they experience the effects of climate change. It's going to depend more and more on technology improving. Electric vehicles are going to get less and less expensive. It's going to make it easier and easier for people to transition over to electric vehicles as we go forward. You just work on it. You have to. I mean, there is no choice but to work on it. Whether we can make it in time or not, you still have to work on it.
To that point, I could hear people listening to this saying, you know what, city government, they should be focused on fixing my streets. They shouldn't be focused on this particular issue. What would you say to them?
Oh, absolutely. The city has to focus on the services it needs to provide. That's its top priority. But one of the services it needs to provide is safety and being prepared for when things go bad. So that's resilience. And one of the things you can do towards that is try to prevent things from going bad. So if you can put in the systems to reduce your greenhouse gas emissions, and others can do the same, then perhaps we can avoid those floods and the heavy inundation of rain, or the mass migration that's going to happen when other people experience these effects and people move. If you want to keep people from mass migrations moving around the globe, you want to be addressing climate change.